the 7 relations which I have mentioned of men or of women, these are haram or forbidden for marriage as far as in 3 forms or 3 groups or 3 circles. The first of these 7 relations would be the relations of kin, that is the real blood relations, the relations with due to the womb of the mother. These 7 relations would be haram. The second circle of these 7 relations would be according to the lactation. According to lactation, that is raza, and that is the foster relationship, like it is mentioned in this ayah also, that your milk mothers and your milk sisters. So as far as lactation is concerned, we need to understand that the lactation which proves a relationship to be a mahram relationship is that lactation which was done in the initial period of 2 years. وَالْوَالِدَاتُ يُرْضِعْنَ أَوْلَادَهُنَّ حَوْلَيْنِ كَامِلَيْنِ. So on the 2 years, which was the obligatory period of lactation, the relationship of lactational relationship develops only for the lactation in those 2 years. And Hazrat Aisha radhiyallahu ta'ala anha reports that if somebody has lactated from 2 to 5 times and with each feed took an ample amount of milk to fill the belly or to fill the stomach and the tummy, then only these relations of milk mothers or milk sisters will be proven and they will hold forbidden. The third circle in which these 7 relations are haram is the relation of the in-laws. That is for men, the wife's mother or the wife's sister or the wife's daughter or the wife's aunts and the wife's nieces, he cannot marry. Similarly, for the woman or for the wife, the husband's father and the husband's son and his brothers and his uncles and his nephews, she cannot marry. It is forbidden. So now, first, I explained the 7 relations, and now I have elaborated that these 7 relations are according to 3 categories. Number 1 being the relations of kin, that is the blood relations, then the 7 relations according to lactation relations, and then the third category or the circle is the relations of in-laws. The next point which I would want to elaborate and want to make clear is that the first category, 7 relations of the first category, that the relations of kin. The second category, that the relations due to lactation. They are, and the 2 types of relations of in-laws, that is the wife's mother and the daughter, or the husband's father or the son. These 2 out of the in-laws and the 7 of the kin and the 7 of lactation. All these relationships are permanently haram, and never ever, in no situation, no circumstances, never ever during the life a man or a woman, that is a husband or a wife, can marry this relationship under no set of conditions. These are the relations of hurmat. These are the mahram relations which are permanently haram and forbidden. But as far as the last 5 relations of in-laws are concerned, that is the wife's sister, aunts or the niece, and the husband's brother, husband's uncle and his nephew. For the wife or the husband, these will be haram as long as they are alive and as long as they are husband and wife. As soon as either of the two passes off, that is dies, or the relationship of marriage is broken by the divorce, then the divorced wife can marry all these 5 relations of the divorcing husband after the divorce. Similarly, if a wife dies or if the husband divorces the wife, then this divorcing husband can get married to all those 5 relationships of the previously divorced wife. So these last 5 forms of relations are temporarily haram. Since they are temporarily haram, so for Muslim women, the order of the veil holds for a Muslim woman in front of these 5 relations, because under certain conditions and in certain circumstances she can be wedded to them and she can get married to them. So shaitan can make some form of fitna and shaitan can misguide in certain situations. So to prevent all this and to prevent certain forms of sins in this situation, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran makes it obligatory for a Muslim woman to observe and to cover her face with a veil in front of these temporarily mahram relationships of men